Hey, Steve Hoisington here from the Seattle, Washington area, and I'm grateful that you're taking a few minutes today to learn a little bit about Legal Shield and who we are and the services that we provide for our members. If you've never heard of Legal Shield, that's okay. We've been around for almost 50 years, and I myself have been with the company for over 20. I started working with Legal Shield while I was in college, and Shield was the services, what I'm about to go through, how we help people, how we protect people, how we help people have access to the law. And so what I'm going to do is very quickly, I'm going to go through a few slides here. This keeps me on track more than anything, but it's a great way to understand a little bit about our company and what we do. So as I said, we've been around for almost 50 years. We started back in 1972. And I want to let you know a little bit about our company so you know that we're a credible company. We've been around for a long time. We currently protect 4.4 million lives in the United States and Canada. That's a big book of business. A lot of people that we currently help. And this is our vision as a company. We want to provide equal access to liberty and equality, opportunity and justice that every human deserves. We truly believe that. And as you know, in our society, it doesn't always work that way. We've been highlighted, by the way, in Forbes and Yahoo and CNBC and Bloomberg. We have a AAA rating with a Better Business Bureau, and we're actually governed by the insurance commissioner in every state. So we are well established, and we have some great attorneys who help us protect our members. But we do something different. See, normally attorneys run $200 or $300 an hour. They're very expensive. And for most people, they cannot afford that. Yet we live in the most litigious society in the world. I mean, there's constantly things and laws around us changing. I mean, just in the last 2 years alone, the amount of new things and adjustments that have changed in terms of COVID alone have caused people to go, how in the world can I get access to an attorney without having to pay $200 or $300 an hour? And so we've done something called disruptive innovation, where we've taken something that's been around for a while and made it simpler, easier, more affordable. And here's a couple examples. You already know of companies that already do this, like Amazon. Shopping's been around forever. Guess what? They adapted how you can shop. You can just shop right from your phone today. And same with Spotify, music, entertainment. We used to go to the store as CDs or what have you, but today you can just download music. Well, we're the same way with the justice system. Instead of paying $200 or $300 an hour for an attorney, you download our app. We made it simpler, easier, and more affordable. You have access to our attorneys in uncertain times. Does leave us with needing some preparation. We are a society that's constantly changing. The laws are changing, and the impact on us and our families is constantly changing. And so we believe, while we have a solid company, that there's an actual need out there for what we do. In fact, here's just a few questions that you might want to ask yourself, because these are just average things. So just having a legal plan doesn't mean that you're a criminal or you have legal problems. It just means legal stuff happens, and we just need to address that. So have you ever thought about writing or revising your will? By the way, that's one of our most sought after services right now, especially because of COVID. What about ever had to say, hey, let me speak to your supervisor because you weren't getting the service that you were guaranteed at a place you were doing business with? What about a repairman who won't stand behind his work, or transaction, or been a victim of a data breach? In fact, you and I know that there's a lot of companies out there that have lost our data. What about if you or a family member received a traffic ticket? My teenage boys have had a couple as well. So I know the value of having access to an attorney like that. Or if you lost your wallet, or maybe a healthcare claim was brought that you thought you were covered isn't covered. So these are all just examples of legal stuff, legal situations that come up. And so what we do is we have a legal plan where you just basically tap the app, you call it, you get equal access. And I'm going to go through that product real fast. By the way, I'll tell you right now the cost, because I don't want you to think I'm setting you up for a $200 or $300 monthly bill. I mean, this is very affordable. And this is what attracted me when I first looked at Legal Shield. For me, as a college kid back in the day, I didn't have a whole lot of money, but I knew I had legal questions here and there, stuff that would come up. And so the cost for our legal plan is $29.95 for an entire family, one price. And so I just want to let you know it's about $1 a day. And even our ID Shield coverage, which I'm going to go through in a moment, is $34.95 for an entire family, or a single person is $19.95. So very affordable for the average family. Like I said, I'll go through what you get, because the first, really the two things that matter the most to me is, number one, could I afford it, which I've already told you the price, but number two, if I can afford it, would I use it? Is this something I would use at least once a year? And if I use it, then of course I would keep it. So I'm going to go through our plan, and I'm going to ask yourself those same questions. Can you afford it? But most importantly, can you see yourself using this? Could you have used this in the past with situations that have come up in your life? So let's talk about our legal plan, because it's really broken down into three areas. One is preventative, and that's just preventing legal situations before they get inflamed. Another one are life events. That's when stuff happens. We're going to protect you. And then, of course, family and domestic issues as well. So our preventative, I mean, imagine this, for $29.95, for $1 a day, these are the things you're going to get. You're going to get unlimited personal legal advice. You can call and talk to our attorneys until you totally understand your rights, or the best way to deal with whatever legal situation you have. So if you have a tax question, a real estate question, if you've got a COVID-19 question, you could give them a call and say, what do I do? How do I handle this? How do I respond to this? You hourly rate. You're just going to pay, you just, like I said, pay that monthly fee. You can get unlimited services. We will review contracts and documents for you. And this is huge, because I mean, we're always signing things. I know recently I had some real estate documents I wanted to have reviewed. These were documents from 10 years ago that I needed to have reviewed to make sure that I was in the right. And guess what? The attorneys reviewed that and made sure that we were good. So that's included with your plan as well. We also will write letters and make phone calls for you. So let's say somebody doesn't fix your car right, or somebody owes you money or something like that. Guess what? We'll write a letter and make a phone call for you. I had a friend of mine who got his shirt burned at the local dry cleaner. Guess what? The dry cleaner didn't want to replace the shirt, but after a lot of discussion, he finally got frustrated, called his law, have to pay a dime. The law firm sent a letter to the dry cleaner and got that cleared up. Now, here's an important part of the story. How many people would really call an attorney for a $60, $70 shirt? No, it's just normally we would not do that. But because you have access to an attorney, all those little things that kind of come up, you can just say, hey, I'm going to call, I'm going to check, I'm going to see what I can do, see if they can write a letter, for example, in that scenario. We also have life events. These are things that we need to be prepared for. For example, your will, your living will, your healthcare power of attorney, and your financial power of attorney. Here, where I live in Washington, it's at least $1,200 to get that done. And we provide that with your membership from day one. You can get your wills done. Like I said, this is one of the most sought after parts of our plan, especially right now with COVID and all the crazy stuff that's happening out there. Traffic ticket assistance. I love this part of the plan, because if you get a defendable speeding ticket, they're going to do their best to get it dropped or thrown out or reduced or what have you. Literally from the app, you can take a picture of the traffic ticket, send it to the law firm, they'll call you and they'll start working with you on that. In fact, currently they're working with me and my son, who got a traffic ticket in California. Can you believe it? And they're working through that to defend him and get that taken care of. But I wouldn't know where to find an attorney in California, because I'm in Washington. Number two, I want to keep the points off his record, more importantly, for my insurance rates not to have to go up, right? So traffic ticket assistance is great. Of course, civil trial defense. If you get sued, we're going to provide some pre-trial and some trial hours, just waiting, just in case you get sued, and we increase that yearly. But here's what I know. I've never been sued. I don't plan on being sued, but I'm so grateful that I have trial defense hours with. It's something crazy. By the way, we live in a sue-happy society. You know this. So why not have some protection just in case that ever happens to you? And then, of course, the same with tax audits. I've never been audited. I don't plan on being audited, but boy, if I am, I want to have an attorney there to make sure that the IRS is looking at the information the proper way, looking at and really there to look out for my rights through a tax audit. So we do provide tax audit assistance as well. And then we even give a 25% membership discount on bigger things. So all the stuff I've talked about so far, it's completely included. It's free, but let's say something goes beyond that. For example, maybe you have a child custody situation, or a divorce, a contested divorce, or maybe you have a pre-existing condition that you've been dealing with for some time. Well, guess what? We still help you with those areas. And in those scenarios, you're still going to need an attorney no matter what. With or without Legal Shield, you would need an attorney in those situations. Yet we give you a discounted rate to save you some great income. Now, one of the other things that we provide with this monthly fee is a 24/7 emergency protection. What that means is if you're driving down the road and you're ever pulled over, questioned, or detained by a police officer or security personnel, 24 hours a day, you can literally tap your phone and we'll get you in touch with one of our attorneys if you feel like your rights are being questioned or your constitutional rights are being threatened, etc. So like I said, I love that part. There's no law in America that says for my kids, when they're driving, there's no law in America that says you have a right to call your mom or dad if you get pulled over, but there is a law that says you have a right to call an attorney. And so for me, as a father, I'm grateful that my family has access to an attorney 24 hours a day, especially my children, in case they ever get pulled over, questioned, or detained, and they're a little nervous about that. And then finally, you can see that family domestic services. This is pretty cool because if you're having uncontested divorce, adoption, separation, or name change, one of those four scenarios, and it's uncontested, we actually do all the paperwork for you. You still have to pay the filing fees with your local county or what have you, but we take care of all the paperwork to get that done for you. In fact, I sold a membership about a year ago to a gentleman who'd been separated for 9 years. He just didn't know how to do the divorce paperwork. It was totally uncontested, something that they both wanted to get done. And of course, he joined Legal Shield and we were able to help him with that. But all those things I just went through, can you see yourself using something in there once a year? Number one, is it affordable? About $1 a day, right? But number two, could you see yourself getting some advice once a year? Can you see yourself, having, worst case, a traffic ticket? Or let's say you want to get your wills updated, or let's say somebody owes you money, or maybe you buy something online and they're not honoring the refund or what have you. So I could go on and on about all the many ways that you can use this legal plan just to protect you and your entire family for one price, okay? And then, of course, I already told you the cost. It's about $1 a day. We also have business plans available. So if you're a business owner, we have business owners. We have plans that are specific for home-based businesses as well as traditional businesses with storefronts. We actually have business plans, and the person who invited you to watch this video can tell you more about that as well. Now, who's covered under this plan? This is one of my favorite parts. Is everybody in your family, the member, spouse, or domestic partner, never married, dependent children under age 26 living at home, or full-time students and dependent children under the age of 18, whom the member is a legal guardian, and physically, mentally disabled children living at home. So I have a family of 6. I've got 2 17-year-old girls. I got 2 19-year-old boys. Now they're over 18, but guess what? One's in full-time college. The other one is still at home. And guess what? They're still covered. Everybody, my entire family of 6 is covered under this $29.95. So great deal. Now we have an ID Shield plan as well. It's another app. Once again, you tap it, you get access. And the reason we started offering this over a decade ago is we knew that identity fraud and identity theft is one of the fastest growing crimes in America. And because of that, we wanted to protect our members. And so guess what? We have an ID Shield plan, which I've already told you the price is $34.95 for a family or $19.95 for a single person. And it's a great plan. I'm telling you, we've been ranked by #1 identity theft protection plan by Forbes 2 years in a row. #1. And here's why, because we do a tremendous amount to protect you and your dad. And by the way, here's what I know is we are online more than ever. In our entire lives more than ever. In fact, in COVID, it was crazy how much we were online, right? And so we actually do several things to help protect you in this crazy world that we live in. And so here's what we do for that small monthly fee. Like I said, it's just over $1 a day, just a little bit over, but monitoring and alerts. The first thing we do is we start monitoring everything about you. We actually put a wall of security around you. And anytime somebody taps into you or looks at you or looks up information about you, you're going to be notified. So we're going to monitor your credit score, your 3 credit bureau monitoring. We're going to monitor your social security number, your passport, phones, your date of birth, your medical ID, your username and passwords, etc. All of those will be monitored. And then, of course, we're also going to be monitoring your privacy and social media reputation as well. And so we have some proprietary technology where we're constantly scanning for potential reputation and damaging content. These are things like Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram. Let's say somebody tags you in a picture that isn't appropriate or makes a comment about you that's going to hurt your reputation. We're going to flag it and let you know and make sure that you have a great online presence. For me, that's great. Okay. But number 2, for my children, it's great. They're online more than ever on all these apps, right? And I want to make sure that they're protected and they've got some good reputation as well. So, and then, of course, we have a comprehensive restoration. And what that means is, let's say somebody steals your identity, somebody actually takes your information and starts utilizing it or what have you, then that's where we have $1 million identity theft protection plan to back you up, to fix it. It's complete restoration. In fact, we will do whatever it takes and work as long as it takes to restore your identity to its pre-theft status. That's an unlimited service guarantee. And we have those licensed private investigators who know what they're doing will do that. I'm telling you, here's a couple things I think of. Number 1, I want to protect myself online. I want to protect myself when I'm out in this world. I travel a lot as well. I want to protect myself and my children. But if my identity was stolen and my information was out there. And by the way, my information has been taken in data breaches and stuff like that, just like yours. It just happens, right? But here's the thing: number one, I wouldn't know how to fix it. Number two, I wouldn't want to take the time to fix it. I'm a busy guy, right? But I'll gladly have somebody else go out and fix my identity to the way it properly should be. Okay. And we even have ID Shield for businesses as well to protect your business for the same things. Additionally, we also have, we've teamed up with Trend Micro, where through their cloud-based AI technology, we actually are looking for malware infections, constantly looking for things that might affect you and your computers. When you're traveling, it's important to have a VPN proxy or a VPN where they switch up your Wi-Fi network. And that's included in our Legal Shield and ID Shield membership. And of course, our password manager, where we help block dangerous websites and give you multiple, this works on multiple devices protection and protects your digital life. It manages and encrypts all your passwords. It's obviously identify and change weak passwords, gives you control. And so, like I said, I'm on my computer all the time. My children are on their computer, their iPhones, everything. To me, I'm looking for any way possible to put this wall of security, this barrier to protect my family from thieves, from viruses, from just anything that shouldn't be happening, which can leak into my family. And so that's why I love Legal Shield. And then we even give credit counseling and education as well. And that's great because I come across a lot of people who are looking, how can I raise my credit score? How can I go out and do better at my finances so that I can go out and purchase a home or what have you? And then finally, we have privacy management as well, where you can proactively arm yourself against cyber crimes and reputation hijacking, et cetera. So here's the thing. I hope none of that stuff ever happens to you. I hope it never happens to me, but I also know it is happening to people out there. I also know that there are people out there, and that's why many companies offer ID Shield protection. Many banks do, many credit unions. Well, we do too. And of course, the price is very affordable, $19.95 a month for an individual or $34.95 a month for a family. And if you buy them together, that's called our dual Legal Shield and ID Shield membership. That's where you get them together. You're going to get the benefit of both because you can get advice on how to manage your finances, for example, with our credit counseling. But also our law firms will advocate for you when you have complicated credit matters, or you need to have a letter to a credit bureau on your behalf, et cetera. And so most of our members end up getting both memberships to get the full protection for their family. And I know that that's what I have. I've had it for years. I've used it for years. I've been notified about things when things have come across. A good example is I downloaded an app about a year ago, MyFitnessPal. And guess what? They had a data breach. My personal information was stolen from MyFitnessPal, an app. And guess what? I was notified, and they're constantly monitoring to make sure it's not being used out there on the dark web. And so for me, I just know how many apps do we download on our phone all the time, just new apps, and they always ask for new information or private information. I just want to be protected. So that is why we've been ranked #1 by Forbes the last 2 years in a row. And so we do obviously believe in what we do, and we're confident that you're going to be satisfied with the services that we provide for you and your family. So I've already told you who's covered under the plan, the individual plan. In fact, I'll show you the cost right here is for an individual. If you're single, for example, it'd be $49.90 for the full package. That's the $30 for the Legal Shield, $29.95 plus $19.95 for ID Shield. For a family, that's what I pay is $64.90, and that protects myself and my family. And then because I'm a business owner as well, I also have a home business supplement, which is an additional $15. Remember, I mentioned that we have business plans. I want to protect my business as well. So my point is we have a suite of services and products that can benefit you and your family. Can you use this at least once a year? Can you see yourself using this at least once a year? And is this affordable? Absolutely. And that's why I love Legal Shield. Finally, a lot of people go, well, hey, I love this peace of mind. I love the protection. I love the idea of it. But we even have a way to help save money as a member of Legal Shield. Kind of like if you're a member of AAA, you get discounts everywhere. Well, guess what? When you're a member of Legal Shield and ID Shield, you get a membership with member perks. And these are places that you already shop at. And because you're a member, you get discounts at thousands of places online, and you're going to have access to that as well. And a lot of our members find that this, by the savings alone and member perks, are able to cover their Legal Shield membership. So with that, I appreciate you taking a few minutes to learn a little bit about Legal Shield. I certainly would love to chat with you if you have any questions, but or turn to to the person, of course, who gave this video to you. They can certainly answer any questions as well. But we would love to protect you and your family. We would love to help you get your legal needs taken care of. We'd love to protect you and your identity online. And most importantly, we know that our attorneys and our ID Shield protection will provide you peace of mind and protection. I hope you have a great day, and thank you for watching this video.